Good morning and welcome back. Not that you ever went anywhere, nor did we. With the news and the weather and the sports, all that's all part of the package you get here. Gives you the information and some would say ammunition to take on the day if you look at your day as an enemy. But I think that maybe, I know you might have a meeting or a deal you got to do or something like that, or someplace you have to go you don't want to go, but that's life. And we have choices in life. Just some choices are better than others. You have to look long term. There's a lot of going into it. But really, ultimately, you do choose life. And as we were talking earlier, do you choose to love life? Our good friend Dr. John Braccio says it is a choice. Love itself is a choice, an act of the will. Let's discuss this with Regional Psychological Services and our good friend on the What's Up, Doc section of the show, Dr. John Braccio. Doc, good morning.
Well, good morning, Mike. Always good to talk with you. And, I'm sure there will be those who hear the topic of choose to love life and will be saying, I don't have much to love in my life, so there is very little to choose, I'll respect the view, but say you have to take another look at your life if you want to be happy. I strongly say if you choose to love life, that you can be much happier and look forward to each day that you live. I strongly believe that persons choose the happiness they have in their lives. They may not believe this, but it's really true. This is said, even acknowledging that many persons have more advantages in their lives to make them happy. But the ultimate choice of the level of choosing to love life we have is within ourselves. To love life is to enjoy the road we experience on our one-time trip on earth. Whether or not one believes in an eternal life, after we die, the one thing we know for sure is that we're on earth and we have a finite amount of time to live here. The point is not for you to wake up at 80 years old and realize that you have not enjoyed the road of life and have not loved life. And this happens to way too many people. Loving life is seeing each day as a new experiment for you to try out all the things you've learned on how to be happy and how to love life. And in order to love life, we need to love ourselves. We need to be cultivating happiness and positivity in our lives. We need to be showing gratitude for what we have. We need to eat healthy and nourish the body we have to make sure it functions at its highest possible level. We need to be living in the now, not letting the past control the present and future, and not focusing on the future, not enjoying the present. Overall, we need a philosophy of life, Mike, that promotes love of life. It's nourished by the constant challenges of life and the fulfillment that comes from successfully meeting them. We love life if we see it as an opportunity to not just make ourselves happy, but to also demonstrate love and caring in a way that we help others to the point that our life has been significant with a meaningful purpose. When we choose to love life, we are becoming a model for other people to make them happier and more successful in life, in addition to making ourselves happier with the love for life we're experiencing that we have chosen. So in my view, choosing to love life is really a no-brainer. It's really something that if we don't do it and we choose to see life as difficult and just, oh no, another day, I can't wait for the weekend, this type of thing. We're not really enjoying this road because it's the one shot we have. We can't replace time. So my view is we try to love life, we try to enjoy life, we try to find meaning in life, and we lead a life that we're happy. Okay, we try to love life, and it can rub off on other people too and make them happier than the people we encounter. So I'm a firm proponent of choosing to love life, and that is a choice and something we really ought to be working on to be happier.
What do you say to the person right now listening to this, though, that's going like, yeah, well, you know what? You didn't just get a notice yesterday that you owe $10,000 to the hospital from that visit, and my spouse is ill again, and the car won't run, and all of this stuff. And you're just simply saying, but you're going to wake up and say, yeah, I'm happy about all of that. What do you say to those folks?
Well, first of all, those are kind of an extreme set of examples that you would be having.
Yeah, well,
I would definitely be saying that's a very bad day. I think what a person has to do regardless of what circumstances we're in. You have to take a time out. You have to look at what are the options, what are the choices, what are you going to do, and then you have to really move forward from there. There's a lot of life is overcoming difficulties, okay? And so having difficulties is part of the road of life. I have no question about that. And if you're having difficulties, a hard time, sure. We don't deny that they're there and pretend we're howdy-doody or something and everything is perfect. No. What we have to do is we have to look at what the circumstances are, and they can be very difficult. They can be very dire. And when we look at them, we have to say, okay, these are the circumstances. These are the things that I can do. These are things I've experienced. These are things that have worked for me. These are things I need to try out. And you kind of go from there. Because loving life doesn't mean that you're not in difficulties. That is the road of life. Many times you still run into difficulties. But if you're having these difficulties, you don't deny you have them. And you don't, the point is not to hate life. You try to sort out what can you do, how can you move forward, and you kind of go from there. That's really what you have to do. The point is not that you're not going to have difficulties. That is part of the road. It's how you deal with them, how you approach it. You approach life that these are here, this is my reality, this is what I have to deal with, and based on it, I have to find things that satisfy me. I have to look at solutions to problems that I have. That's really part of life, and we can love life in very difficult times. The point is, if we decide that everything is negative, there's no hope, then often those are going to be the choices you're going to make. They're going to just be leading a hopeless, unhappy life. And there are a lot of people like that. There are a lot of people that are just negative and don't have all the negativity that you were talking about, okay, that a person can have. But those people are not in the throes of despair, or they're not having 20 horrible things coming at them at the same time. As a general rule, we're talking about people leading a normal life. Can be a difficult life. But again, when you have divorce, when you have illness, when you have job uncertainty, you have financial issues. Yeah, that is the road of life. Those are things that can happen to people. I don't diminish pain. I don't diminish these things. I simply say, if we're approaching life, we want to love it, we want to enjoy it, we want to find solutions. We don't want to look upon every problem as insurmountable. We want to be looking at problems as opportunities for resolution, to use the tools that we've learned that work for us in our life, and we want to try to adapt them and use them for the current issues or problems that come up. Because really, life is not all, just nice cherries and ice cream and you're a great guy. Okay, that's not how life always works.
And it wouldn't be worth it if it was. It sounds funny to say that, and you may use the word normal a little while ago as opposed to life. I think we have a misnomer in our own minds that sets us on this path of despair, that we're not. Our life somehow is different than everyone else's. They have a normal life. We don't, and I can't measure up to that. Social media has really done a disservice to young people on that, big time.
I would agree with that, and it gets people too not to be looking and planning for the future, Mike. People living in the moment, living in the computer, call it what you will. I completely agree with you. My view on life is, if you approach life, with a song in my heart, I've got the world on the string, trying to get a positive view of life, in spite of all the uncertainty, all the negativity that we can encounter. It's trying to find those positive streams, whether it's music, whether it's friendships, whether it's family, whether it is new opportunities we're struggling with, trying to learn, I should say, to move forward. Life is something to look forward to, as difficult as it can be. If we don't, we just look upon difficulties as things that overwhelm us. Woe is me, there's little hope for me. And in the midst of the despair, I don't dispute there's a lot of depression, a lot of negativity, a lot of difficulties in life. It's how we approach them, how we look at them, and we have to try to take them as they come, like you're a batter, like you're there waiting for the pitch of life, and you're just trying to kick out the negativity, hit the ball, whether you're a hockey, whatever.
Just connect.
Sport,
just connect with the ball.
And you want to move forward but you can't give up. You can't have negativity. I say love life, even in difficult times, and say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to move forward. I'm taking control of my life. I'm going to have a song in my heart. That's kind of an old song I like, by the way.
Yeah.
So
even if you're off key. Yeah.
Listen, singing in the shower, it makes people happy. They're not all Mario Lanza or some great singer of the present, That's kind of the way the world works, Mike.
Yeah. And he's Dr. John Braccio. Hey, Doc, we're up on time, big time, but thanks a lot for this. I like this. I like all of them. Regional Psychological Services of East Lansing and our good pal, Dr. John Braccio, every Tuesday. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.
Good talking to you, buddy. Bye-bye.
See ya. Bye-bye. 1320 WILS. Go forth and love life.